What is going on, guys? It's Bucky and welcome to your 36th XHTML and CSS tutorial. And in this tutorial I'm going to be talking to you guys about something called positioning. So before, whenever we were making websites and we added like an image and then a header and then a paragraph and then maybe some links or something, everything kind of appeared after one another. It kind of flowed together in a nice, neat order. I mean, your image knew automatically not to appear on top of your text to cover it up. And whenever you made a paragraph, it didn't just put them in a random location. It put it under whatever was there before, like under your header or under your image. So everything kind of flowed automatically, but while this is good if you're going for that, kind of boring, organized look, it didn't give you a whole lot of control over the layout and look of your website. So in this tutorial, I'm going to teach you guys how to change all that using something called absolute positioning. Now, let's go ahead and look at an example right now. So I'm going to make two divs, or aka two boxes on the screen, and I'm going to show you guys how to move them around exactly where you want them. So let's go ahead and make a div with an ID of, I don't know, apples, and just go ahead and end that div. Let's add some text in it. I am the apple box. Isn't there a cereal like Apple Jacks? That's what I was thinking of. So let's go ahead and copy this and add another div with the ID blueberry, and just put like yo soy un blueberry. This can be a Mexican blueberry box. So anyways, go ahead and save this and see what we have on our screen so far. We have I am the apple box and yo soy un blueberry, the blueberry box. So in order to visualize these a little better, let's go ahead up in CSS and give them a border, actually, so they actually look like boxes. So go ahead and in your apples, let's add some rules to it. Border equals 2 pixels solid red, because apples are red. It might make it easier to tell. And let's see, in order to apply that absolute positioning, here's what you need to do. Type in the attribute position, and for the value type absolute. And now, well, it's better if I just show you what absolute positioning is. So anyways, just leave it like this. But anyways, since these are boxes, we need to give them a couple things. First of all, a width and a height, so CSS knows how wide and how tall to draw that border. And also a top and a left, or pretty much coordinates, so it knows where on the screen to draw the border. So width equals, I don't know, let's say 150 pixels. And height equals 175 pixels. That'll be good for this resolution. So now we need to say, where on the screen do you want to draw this box? Well, 30 pixels down from the top is good, and let's say right, in other words, 15 pixels from the left. So now let's go ahead and save this and see what we got. We got a red box, 2 pixels solid red. It's absolute, and the width is 150 by 175, and it's 30 pixels down from the top and 15 pixels from the right. So now you're saying, this is pretty cool, because now I can have my elements in boxes and I can move them anywhere I want around the screen. So for example, your boss comes in and he's like, Bucky, make this 100 more pixels to the right and some more pixels down. So you're saying, alright, now I can add 100 pixels to that, and instead of 30, put it at like 40 and save it, and bam, check it out. Move it over some and move it down some. Pretty cool. But now we're going to run into a problem, and that's this. It's not so much a problem as something that you just need to look out for. Go ahead and copy this, and let's see if this works. Go ahead and now let's make a box for blueberry. And let's first of all make that border blue so we can see what we're doing. And make the width, I mean, those look pretty good, so change this to 30 and, 15. Whoa, easy hoss. So now in our blueberry box, we have a blue border. The position is absolute still. The width and height are the same, but it's just at different coordinates. So now whenever we save this and refresh this, we see that something weird happens that didn't happen before. With absolute positioning basically says, alright, I'm going to give you complete control over where to place your elements, but I don't care if any other element is in my way. I don't care if any other box is in my way. If it is, I'm just going to overlap it, F it. I only care about myself. So while this is an excellent way to position elements on the screen exactly where you want them, you need to look out for a couple things. First of all, before, whenever we just made dumb old websites, everything was positioned nice and neatly. Now we run into the problem of things might having to bump into each other or overlapping. So whenever you're making your websites, you have to make sure don't overlap your stuff or it's going to be hard to read. I mean, look at this is this would be pretty hard to read if we had two paragraphs in here and you overlap them and try to read them together. So anyways, whenever you're making a website, you have to watch out not to overlap your stuff right now, because even though we have control over exactly where things go, we have to watch out not to make them bump into each other. So anyways, it doesn't flow like other XHTML would just by default. And anyways, you guys can see what's going on. So this is basically absolute positioning. The idea that you can take an element and put it absolutely in a location no matter what else is in the way. So you're saying, alright, this is pretty cool. I'm just going to take all my elements and arrange them, make sure they don't overlap, and I'm just going to make a website like that. Well, before you just go and make an entire website out of absolute positioning, there are two other forms of positioning I want to teach you guys about. And when you use them together, it's going to give you a whole lot more control, and it's going to make your website so much better. So before you just go make a website with tons of boxes like this all over, stick with me for the next couple tutorials. I'm going to be teaching you about some different types of positioning, and trust me, you will thank me by the end of these tutorials. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys understand the concept of absolute positioning, and if you don't, then just stick with me in these next couple tutorials. You will. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.